Today, I am going to discuss about the coagulation flocculation sedimentation. This is also known as clariflocculation. This is a chemical process of water treatment applied for the separation of colloidal and suspended solids which are causing turbidity to the water. These suspended solids are present in the range of 1 millimicron to 1 micron and do not get separated in the plane sedimentation operation. These particles can be removed in a sedimentation by adding and rapid mixing of chemicals called coagulation. Water coming out of the mixing basin contains microfloc is sent to flocculation chamber where the microflocs join together and form larger clumps. The water coming out with larger clumps from the flocculation chamber is subsequently sent to the sedimentation chamber where these clumps are get settled. This is the clariflocculation operation. What are the common coagulants or chemicals used in the treatment? Hydrated copper, chlorinated copper S, sodium aluminate, lime and alum are the common coagulants used in the coagulation process. Let us understand how does these coagulants help in settling. The colloidal and suspended particles are stable, can't settle in any amount of time in a plane sedimentation basin. The destabilization of these particles by coagulants action will take place in 4 different ways. That is also called as mechanism of coagulation. The ionic layer compression, adsorption and charge neutralization, sweep coagulation, interparticle bridging. So let us see one by one. What is that ionic layer compression? As we noted, the colloids possess negative charge on their surface. These negative charges do not allow particles to come closer together. That is why the particles repel each other. That is why the colloids stay in a stable condition. The quantity of counter ions in the water surrounded by colloidal particles compresses the charge of the surface. So due to that compression, the particles will come closer when the van der Waals forces become predominant. You see in the figure here, the particles are quite away. Once the coagulant is added, because of that ionic action, the particles will come closer together. Here, the van der Waals forces will predominate and make the layer very compressed one. That is how the ionic layer compression is taking place in coagulation. The adsorption and charge neutralization. The coagulants such as aluminum sulfate, ferric chloride get dissociated in the form of several cations. These cations form aquametallic ions with water, where these aquametallic ions formed in the water have very high affinity towards the negatively charged colloids. Thus, the surface charge of colloidal particles will get neutralized. Once the colloidal particles get neutralized, then automatically they will come closer together and form the floc. Next one, sweep coagulation. This is another phenomenon, another mechanism. The coagulants like alum hydrolyzes and form a gelatinous floc of aluminum hydroxide. The colloidal particles are engulfed or entrapped by the floc will get settled along with the aluminum hydroxide flock. Then interparticle bridging. A metallic salt such as ferric salt in association with synthetic polymeric coagulants which have a linear and as well as a branch molecular structure, they have a very high surface reactivity. These particles bridge together, rope together, and along with that, they will carry the colloidal particles and get settled down from the water. The steps involved in coagulation. It's a process of adding or feeding chemicals called coagulants to water followed by rapid mixing. The feeding of chemicals are done in two ways, that is dry feeding and wet feeding. Here the figure indicates the dry feeding devices. Here this figure indicates the wet feeding device. Once the feeding is completed, then the chemicals are to be mixed properly. Otherwise, the dispersion of chemicals is not proper in the water. Therefore, the rapid mixing is essential. The rapid mixing is achieved by two ways. One is mechanical mixing and another one is hydraulic mixing, or it can be also called as baffle mixing. The mechanical mixing, here a cylindrical tank comprising inlet arrangement and outlet arrangement and drain hollow for sludge removal contains this impeller blade connected with a shaft, again that will be connected to the electric motor. The power required by the impeller is calculated by the equation P is equals to G square rho U, G square rho U, where mu is the dynamic viscosity and G is the temporal velocity gradient, and rho, P is power in watt and rho is mass density of water. Then baffled mixing. These are the rectangular tanks having the baffles. There are two types of tanks. One is around the end type tank, over and above type of vertical tank. So here when the water enters at the inlet, will get hindered by this baffle wall. Because of the hindrance, the turbulence will create in the water. Due to the turbulence of water, the mixing will take place. This is the phenomena. Then next comes to flocculation. Flocculation is a slow mixing operation where the micro flocks are turned into bigger flocks. Here, the slow mixing is done in a tank. Then what is the velocity of the pedal maintained here? There is a relationship between tip velocity and pedal velocity. The tip velocity will be around 0.25 to 0.75 meter per second generally desired. Then pedal velocity will be around 0.5 times or 0.75 times of the pedal tip velocity is desirable. Then detention time of this flocculation tank is 10 to 30 minutes. The performance of flocculator depends upon the value G, that is a velocity gradient. In a system of stirring, the velocity of fluid varies both with respect to space and with respect to time. Here G is a spatial change in velocity. Here you see a sectional view of a typical flocculator, which is having inlet arrangement, getting water from the mixing basin, and outlet arrangement. After the flocculated water with the lumps of particles will be sent to the settling basin or sedimentation basin. And this one is known as a drain hole. Drain hole. Here The pedals are connected to the shaft. Again, that is, the power supply is done by electric motor. The driving mechanism is electric motor. Then how the G value is to be calculated? Just you see here. G is equals to, from the equation, V2 minus V1 divided by S. What is V2 and V1? These are all the particles separated by a distance S, and each particle will be having the velocity V2 and V1 respectively, V2 and V1 respectively. Then G is equals to V2 minus V1 divided by S. That is also denoted by dV by ds, that is the velocity gradient. The importance of G value in flocculator. G should be in the range of 10 to 40 second inverse for efficient functioning of the flocculator. The product of velocity gradient and time is known as a GT, is a dimensionless parameter. It's a governing factor for quality of sludge and as well as quantity of sludge developed in the flocculation process. If larger G value and smaller is the T value, a dense flock with a small quantity will be developed. If smaller G and larger T value gives the higher flock with large density. Then how do you calculate the pedal power requirement? The pedal power requirement P can be obtained by the force and velocity of the pedal. The force developed by the pedal can be obtained by the equation CD rho A square into V square divided by 2, where CD is the coefficient of drag, rho is the density, and A is the pedal area, and V is velocity of the pedal. Then power requirement can be obtained by substituting this power value in the first equation. We can get CD rho A square V cube divided by 2. Then next comes to the sedimentation. Once the flocculation is completed, that flock has to be taken to the sedimentation tank. The sedimentation tank is resembling the construction of the plain sedimentation tank in inlet chamber, outlet chamber, sludge zone and settling zone, etc. Here the solids removal will be 100%. The detention time of the tank varies 2 to 2.5 hours. Whereas in case of plain sedimentation tank, it is up to 4 hours. Thanks for patient listening. If you have any queries, you leave your queries, I'll answer.